The holidays are over. That's right, Achilles. The holidays are over. It's a little cold in my apartment, so the little shit's gonna be in here. I've successfully uninstalled Ark Survival Evolved, and you know what that means. Time to get back to work. This week on Wednesday afternoon worship. Oh my gosh. Do you want to tell them who we're doing? I'm sorry I haven't done a Danye yet. Have I done a Danye? This little one wants to say hi to you. We're cracking open Lost Omens Impossible Lands to talk about Likha. Yeah. You want to say hi, buddy? If he boops the mic, it will be good for all of you. If you're liking what you're seeing, like, subscribe, ding the squirmy cat. Ding the bell. Stay caught up on all your stuff for now. Let's dive in. Okie dokie. So, small history lesson before we dive into this one. I've said this a million times. Here's 1,000,001, I guess. It depends on who you ask on Galarian, but everyone will tell you that the world was created by a different divine being, and if you ask the Vudrani, they would point to Vudravati. As the story goes, a very, very long time ago, Vudravati was courted by twin brothers, Obari and Imbarl. Vudravati took both of them as lovers, but both of them got real jealous. This is for a couple of reasons, not the poly inclusion I was looking for, but alright. Vudravati felt that they were going to kill each other from their jealousy, and since they were on Galarian at the time, that has world-shaking consequences. So to split them up until they could work their shit out, Vudravati lay between them and went to sleep. In so doing, her body formed the land of Vudra, and in the birthing of both the children of Obari and Imbarl, the oceans on either side of that continent, she birthed the Vudrani people. And that's where our focus point comes in. Ever since these people were born, another divine being has been there to shepherd them, watching over the story of the three, seeing the violence, seeing the jealousy, but also the joy and truth in the love between the three. Our focal point today, Likha the Teller, a being which had existed, honestly the text says it the best, since the first sound of existence emanated from the focal point of the cosmos, blessing all creation with the capacity for perception. She uttered the concept of language, she sang in echo with all that would be, and in hubris that would color all her sorrows, she sought to make that which emanated truth, but in so doing birthed deception. This being took the form of an elephant, dictated the stories of their origin, dictated them to a sage by the name of Balazastar, and present day is still worshipped by just a lot of people. It turns out such concepts of sound and truth are very ubiquitous to lots of folks. A deity that created deception and doesn't much care for the concept of lying. Well, where else do we use deception, kids, when we're pretending to be things we're not? Man, this god is fucking meta. Anyway, pointing back to the text, children who tell white lies claim that Likha saw truth in their words. Playwrights beseech her as a muse for inspiration. Written words are etched with her mark, and her elephantine form is carved into the doorways of playhouses and sculpted into statues, a lie, right, because a statue isn't actually what it's carved to be, to sit in alcoves of grand libraries, or, like, get an elephant statue. Set that shit on your desk, or your table, for those of you who are lucky enough to be safely playing in-person games. I like going to the gym a lot, but I don't think my strength is 18. But I do like to tell people on the internet it is, as evidenced by all the flexing I've done. Enough about me. Let's talk about the deity. Likha the Teller is true neutral. Follower alignments include every alignment with a neutral component that is not neutral evil. Her divine font is to heal. Her divine ability is Intercha. Wow, the perception god is not wisdom. That feels like a missed opportunity. Her divine skill is performance, and they offer the domains of creation, knowledge, passion, sorrow, and the alternate domains of repose and truth. Clerics of Likha may prepare Illusory Disguise as a first level spell, Enthrall as a third level spell, or Illusory Scene. Her edicts are to adapt ancient works into modern language, sponsor or perform in plays or recitals, and tell history to others. Anathema, act out a death on stage, or this is fucking adorable. Begin a performance or tale without first inviting the gods to watch. Isn't that such a twist on what you normally expect to see about deities in tabletop role-playing games? Worship me and I'll grant you spells and stuff. Not, Likha just wants to be involved. I feel that. friend. Her favorite weapon is the hatchet. Interesting choice. Again, this continues to make me wonder why not use the weapons printed in the book, but I do also like, and maybe this is because I picked up Octopath Traveler on the Steam sale, but the wholesome little good boys and girls who carry axes with them, it's kind of a mood. Worshippers who cast Avatar gain a speed of 70 feet, immune to immobilized, a one-action trunk melee attack with disarm, a reach of 20 feet, which does 6d6 plus 6 bludgeoning damage, plus a large or smaller creature hit by the Avatar's trunk is grabbed. If the Avatar moves, it can bring the grabbed creature along with it. For all you kids who wanted to have your animal companions drag cultists and drop them in lava pits, just turn into a god that who probably wouldn't be fucking down with that, but don't worry about it. Okay, so my first go-to with Likha is throughout this book we've read about so many very violent, very edgy beings, right? Defend vaults from the Asura. You were slain but came back as a god. All super cool, don't get me wrong, but I like where Likha sits as well because Likha just takes up the exact opposite niche in the book. You also, a lot of times in Pathfinder, see examples of deities doing not so great things. Desna and Galander come to mind. Zon-Kuthon and Shelyn even. In both of those cases, the things I'm referring to, either Desna accidentally birthing a not so nice deity, or Shelyn's brother returning from very, very far away, having found the MacGuffin from Hellraiser and turned into what he is, remains not unresolved, but still very present, though clerics of Shelyn might show mercy to worshippers of Zon-Kuthon, and I'm sure Shelyn probably feels bad for what happened to her brother. There's not as much step into the world, correct the wrong. I like Likha a lot because Likha is an interesting god of reframing your mistakes. Shit! I invented the concept of deception. People could really get hurt about that if they were led to believe something, and then it wasn't true, and then anything from being lied to someone holding a great axe saying, nah, I'm not gonna hit you with it, don't worry about it, and then you take a great axe to the collarbone. What do? You go give people another use for the thing that you did, which works to enrich everyone. Even on planet Earth, stories are such an innate part of our culture and our shared experience. That is why you are watching this video right now, right? Because you wanted to hear a story about a thing in a book, none of which is real at all. So fucking praise Likha, right? I also really like her because a lot of deities which are associated with both the concept of truth and the concept of lies are often so skewed one way or another, usually against each other. Think your stern inquisitors of whatever crusade faction who will find the deception and root it out to enforce order in a given part of the world, and then by the other side of that, think the average thieves guild. Though those takes are valid and those takes have their place in role-playing games for sure, both of those takes are skewed in a very moral way, whereas Likha, at least in and of herself, is not possessed of that. Truth is absolute. A story is what we remember of the truth, or what we are changing about the truth to make it more entertaining. I love that her clerics can prepare illusion spells, because I like the idea of adventuring party stopping at an inn which is stapled to a temple of Likha, and there are performances every night which are told by illusory scenes and illusory disguises and stuff. I think that's fucking wholesome, but that's all the time I have for this one. What do y'all think? Have we rolled her up? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Next week it's going to be either a Rosny or a name that I'm sure I mispronounced, but now that I'm saying it a second time, I'm going to check it. Mahaphala? I'm real unfamiliar with the Old Testament. Someone's going to have to catch me on that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.